and today we're going to have a little look at some wall assisted stretches that you could do seated, stood up. All you need really is a wall. Maybe you could use a door as well. So yeah, take it nice and steady, and we're just going to go through just some simple stretches that you can use the wall. So we're just going to start nice comfy seated position, and you can sit on a cushion if you prefer. We're just going to back your body up onto the wall. We can curve the spine and just drop the head forwards, and we're just really focusing on the lower part of the back, touching the wall here. And my hips are just a little far away, so I haven't backed my hips completely up towards the wall here, just so I can allow a little bit of movement in the back. And I'm just dropping the head down, curving the spine. And imagining that I'm curving the spine forward, so I'm really rolling forwards, dropping the head forwards. And then from here, just a really nice gentle way to roll up through the body. Lift the head and see if you can feel the top part of the back kind of slide on towards the wall. And then we're just going to drop the chin back down again, curving the spine. You can even go so far as to take the back away from the wall so you can really fully curve the back. And then when you're ready, bring in the base of the back, and then gently bringing the upper body up as well. And we can hold it here, imagining that the shoulders are kind of just travelling a little closer towards the wall, so we're opening up through the chest. We can take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, just allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears. And this is just quite nice as well, just to kind of push a little bit of pressure into the wall here. Nice. And when we're here, we can just then gently shift the hips just a little further back. And we can just find our tall seated position. And I'm just trying to imagine that my spine is completely touching the wall. There may be a little gap in the lower part of the back, which is absolutely fine, so match your curve of your spine. And then from here, we're just going to inhale, lifting the arms up. As we exhale, we bend the elbows, open up the chest, and we're just going to see if we can bring the hands behind. So you may find that there may be a gap with the elbow. The arm may not want to go that fast, the arms aren't touching the wall, or maybe a gap between the wrist. What we're just trying to think about here is opening up through the chest without too much of an arc in the upper body. So from here, just opening up, seeing if we can find cactus arms on the wall. And just noticing if those shoulders are wanting to creep up. Taking some nice deep breaths. Again, you can push that back towards the wall. Sitting tall, engaging through the core even here, pushing that belly button towards the spine. Nice, just a couple of breaths here. And we're slowly going to drop the hands back down, and we're just going to do some counter stretches almost. So we're going to this time face the wall. We're going to start by coming to a kneeling position. You can place the cushion underneath the feet and the hips. And we're just going to walk the hands towards the wall. And I'm dropping my head down, and I'm pushing the hands into the wall, and I can curve my spine here. I'm going to drop my head down fully. I'm just going to imagine when I breathe in, I'm breathing into the back of my rib cage. And as I exhale, I'm just going to see if I can just find any more space in the back. Nice. And then on my next inhale, I slowly roll the body, lifting the head up. And then this time, instead of focusing on the top of the back, we're going to focus on the chest. So from here, I take the knees out just a little further away. I then walk the hands forwards, and this time the hands go a little higher than my shoulders. So beforehand, my hands should have been in line, maybe they could have been a bit lower. This time the hands are a little bit higher than my shoulders, and I'm going to lead the chest. So I keep the gaze looking up. If you find this is too much for the neck, drop the gaze down. But this time I'm thinking more about dropping my chest forwards. So almost like we're doing an active child's pose, maybe even looking at a puppy pose. So this time leading with the chest. And you can take the hands out a little wider, just to engage the chest a little bit more. Just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly walking the hands back towards centre, and then we can come up to a kneeling and just gently coming out of this position. So we're going to go for a little bit more of the shoulder and the chest area now. So from here, we're going to place the hand on the floor, and we're going to on the wall, and we're going to drop the forearm towards the wall as well. Next, from here, we want to see if we can keep the elbow perhaps in line with the shoulder. From here, we then just take the gaze over towards the other side, and we're just opening up the shoulder. If you wanted to, and you could take it a little deeper, you can kind of shift the body away from the wall, so depending on how intense you feel that you can go. So I'm pushing my fingertips towards the wall, and I'm just spiralling away. I can look away as well, just so I can start to increase the spiral in towards the upper body and my neck. Again, just noticing if you're losing the neck, so if the shoulder's starting to lift off, maybe the elbow, just come and take it back, and then just start slower. And maybe see if you can take it a little further over time. Just a few more breaths here. And then we're gently going to switch sides. So from here, binding the other hand towards the wall, dropping the forearm down, and then from here, look up towards the other side. You could do this one standing as well if you wanted to. And of course, then if you wanted to take it a little further, and what we're thinking about here is just lengthening and spiraling away from the hand that's on the wall. Just a few more breaths. And then slowly rotating back towards the wall and slowly coming out of it. So we're going to do one more for the shoulders. It's one of my favourite ones, and we can do this one on the mat. I do this one on the mat quite a lot in my sessions. So from here, we're going to come to a kneeling position. We can place, let's say, one hand behind us, and we're reaching behind us. I plant that hand on the wall beside me, and I want to see if I can keep the hand ideally in line with the shoulder, so the arm's not too high or too low. And then from here, I can then glue the rest of my arm on the wall as well. You don't have to, you can have a little gap between the shoulder and the wall, or you can glue it. It's completely your preference. I prefer it with my shoulder on the wall. And then from here, again, same premise, I look away. I'm almost imagining that my outside shoulder is just pulling back. It's a really nice one for the upper arm, the shoulder, and really nice for the chest actually. Taking some nice deep breaths. I'm noticing if my shoulders are starting to lift, or maybe as I'm seated, when my posture's starting to break. So I'm lifting up. You can go as intense or as gentle as you like for this one, which is really nice. Couple more breaths. And then slowly take the gaze to the wall first, and then bring the hand in, and then you can recover. Ready for the other side? Bringing the hand over and deciding perhaps for this side, you don't want to pick the shoulder towards the wall because it's a little tighter. That's absolutely fine. Or maybe you want to, maybe this side's a little bit more open than the other. And then from here, just take the gaze out towards the side. And for me personally, this side is much tighter, so I might just have a little gap between the wall and the wall and my shoulder. Sitting tall, dropping the shoulders down. And you can keep this quite active by really pushing those fingertips and the hand that's on the wall towards the wall. And I'm breathing deeply towards the chest. And then exhale, I'm just spiraling out towards the outside. Slowly taking the gaze and rotating back towards the wall. Bring the hand in and then we can recover out. So I thought I would do 2 more. We're going to do one for the thighs. So we've got options here. You don't have to use the wall if you don't want to. So option 1 would be just to find a tabletop position, and we're just going to bring one leg up. And if you wanted to, if you had a strap or you had a dressing gown robe tie, a karate belt, anything like that, you could kind of wrap it around the foot and you could gently just hold it. Or you could hold the foot if you've got that as well. If not, a really nice way of getting towards this stretch, and a really nice one for the thigh, would be to place the shin bone on the wall. So I'm just reaching forwards. This is also quite nice for the hips here as well. And from here, I'm just maybe perhaps lifting up in the upper body. I'm pushing that shin bone towards the wall here. My left knee is on the floor, but another way of doing it would also be to have that foot on the, like I'm on a kneeling position, and then I can back my knee up. But this one is quite intense. It's completely up to you on which variation. Again, it's quite nice for the quad. Slowly dropping out of this position, and we're going to go for the other side. In whatever variation that you fancy, you can use the wall or not. So it's almost like a little bit of an assisted pigeon pose, or swan. Opening up that leg, the hip. And again, you can keep this as activated or not as you want by pushing that shin in towards the wall. And then gently and slowly bringing that leg back. And we're just going to finish with one final one, which is our assisted shavasana, so our lying down position. So from this one, this is also really nice if you're feeling a little bit nervous or anxious. You could place a pillow underneath your head. We're going to back the hips and the pelvis towards the wall. Legs go up. And then from here, it's quite nice as well if you have like a book, as long as it doesn't fall down. You could place some weight or maybe even a blanket on top of the feet just to give the feet a little bit of a weight. And the arms can go out. You can relax here, which is really nice. And if this is too much, you can have a little bend in the knees, that's also fine. We're just opening up the chest, allowing the upper body to completely relax. And the feet can just rest on the wall. And you don't have to move, you can stay in this position. This is where we finish today. Enjoy your shavasana using the wall. Let me know how you get on, and I will see you back on Monday at 7 AM.